The world stopped on October 5th, 2011. A silence fell over the planet. A silence he created. Look around you. The screen you are watching this on, the phone in your pocket, the way you connect, the way you think, it all bears his fingerprint. Steve Jobs didn't just sell us machines. He cast a spell. He convinced humanity that a cold piece of glass could have a soul. But behind the curtain of the genius lived a tyrant, a pirate who would burn down the world just to perfect a single curve. Before he was a god, he was just an unwanted mistake. To understand the empire, you have to understand the orphan, rejected at birth. Adoption planted a seed in his soul, a desperate need to prove he was special. He didn't look for answers in textbooks. He looked into the void. LSD, India, silence. He realized the world wasn't fixed. It was waiting to be painted. 1976, the garage. While everyone else saw wires and circuits, Steve saw a bicycle for the mind. He didn't want to sell computers. He wanted to sell magic, and he needed a partner to build it. By 1980, the garage was a distant memory. Apple went public. Overnight, a 25-year-old boy was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He was the face of the future, the golden child of America. But inside the walls of Apple, a war was brewing. Steve believed that great art could only come from conflict. He hung a pirate flag in the office. His philosophy was simple. It is better to be a pirate than to join the Navy. But every rebel needs an enemy, and Steve found the ultimate monster to fight. IBM, the blue giant, the big brother that wanted to turn computers into boring machines for accountants. So in 1984, Steve didn't just launch a product, he launched a revolution. He declared war on the status quo. But the pirate needed a captain. Steve hired John Scully from Pepsi. He seduced him with the most famous question in business history. He asked, "Do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life? Or do you want to come with me and change the world?" Irony is cruel. The man he hired became the man who destroyed him. In 1985, the board voted. The coup was successful. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple. He lost his company. He lost his purpose. He was 30 years old and publicly humiliated. This should have been the end. For most men, it would be. But Steve used the pain as fuel. He launched Next. He built Pixar. He learned how to tell stories. Meanwhile, Apple was bleeding to death. Without him, the company lost its soul. By 1997, Apple was 90 days away from bankruptcy. They didn't need a CEO. They needed a savior. So, the exile returned. He didn't bring peace. He brought a sword. He fired thousands. He killed 70% of the products. He drew a simple grid on a whiteboard. Focus or die. He turned the ship around. iMac, color, design. Think different became a religion. But the real weapon was small enough to fit in your pocket. The iPod? The Trojan horse. Suddenly, Apple wasn't just a tech company. It was culture. But in a locked room with blacked out windows, something else was being born. Project Purple, January 9th, 2007. Nokia was the king of the world. BlackBerry owned the suits. They felt safe. They didn't see the sniper in the turtleneck. Steve walked on stage. One device, and the old world was about to burn.